y bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente de esa mejor cerveza. No abate por NoFilter Network, Miguelito Sandiaguito, not with us today. Will the Thrill Clark, not with us today. But he will be with everybody in San Francisco tomorrow. It is Autism Awareness Night at the ballpark. I will be heading down there as well. Looking forward to that one. Regardless, each and every single morning we come on here, you guys know we properly salute our boys and, well, each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. Woo. Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the 29th day of August, 2024. Today's Daily Hustle quote of the day. Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness. Napoleon Hill. All right. Yeah. If you think about anything great that we've accomplished in our lives, there's work that needs to be put into it. If you have not sacrificed anything, whatever you're doing is not great. It's cool. It might be something that you're proud of. It might be something that you can look upon and be like, oh, yeah, hey, well, I did this or I did that. Well, guess what? Until there is great sacrifice attached with that, it's not fucking great. You might think it's great, but it's not. And then if it's done with the idea that it's very selfish and self-motivated and everything else, well, guess what? It's not fucking great either. So that is the Daily Hustle quote of the day. Gonna do something, I'll say new, but we're gonna do a little five and dive with the stories here. By the way, our title sponsor is Bet Online. It is the #1 online gambling destination. And Leslie sent me a script yesterday, which, of course, I forgot to read. So here it is. The world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on the $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to the online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet Online, the game starts here. So, just got a new iPhone, by the way. I got the old one over here. It's cracked, right? And it's interesting because, I mean, these days I'm like, man, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to Reno. And so I'll live with a cracked phone for months on end until it's very convenient for me to pop into the Apple store, exchange out the device, whatever. Well, this one's been cracked for a while, and I was looking at making an appointment and going to the Apple store, and then I realized that I'm like, shit, I can't get an appointment. Like, this thing's booked out for days. So I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I see something that's like, send your device in. They'll send it back. You send your device back to them within 10 days. And what they do is they put a hold of your credit card for a brand new iPhone. So I don't know what the number was. It's like a ridiculous number, though, right? It's crazy. I mean, these are little computers, basically. But they sent me the iPhone. They put a hold on the credit. They say a hold, but here comes the charges. So now I got to get the other phone back to them within 10 days. Now the question becomes this. What happens if it's day 11 and they get it? Am I fucked? Do they send the iPhone back? Because it does still work. Anyhow, I did that not only with the iPhone, I did it with the iPad, the actual iPad that I'm running this daily hustle on right now. It's got a crack in it. And then I start thinking to myself, because it was kind of a pain in the ass to transfer all the data. Should I just live with the little crack in the upper right hand corner? I don't know. So this is my first experiment with it. So I'll continue to go ahead and fill you guys in on the order phone / iPad repair via mail. All right. So last night was Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night. And his dog Decoy threw out the first pitch. So you can't make this shit up. With the historical season that Shohei Ohtani is having, last night was a celebration of Ohtani. Now, think about the career so far of Shohei Ohtani in Southern California, right? He comes to the Angels. It's just doing things that we've never seen anybody do on a baseball field before. He's throwing 100 miles per hour. He's striking out players at just this astronomical rate. Offensively, just off the charts, right? And then he gets this big free agent deal, signs with the Dodgers, a historical deal where he's making $2 million a year, backloaded this contract. Then all of a sudden, spring training starts, and there's this whole Ipe translator debacle going on. Everybody's wondering that did Ipe really steal all this money? I think it was reported like $4 million, and everyone's like, dude, how do you get $4 million like stolen from you? You don't even know. And so a lot of questions, surrounding this. There was a Southern California bookie involved, and then it was like, well, was Shohei gambling, and did he have a problem? Was Ipe covering for him? They end up finding out that it was more than $4 million. It was like $16 million that Ipe had figured out how to rip off from Shohei. Just again, like a lot of unanswered questions and all that. But then the season starts, and you had a lot of people questioning what kind of year was Shohei going to have. He wasn't healthy. He couldn't pitch. First year with the Dodgers. Historically, it's not a great hitter's park. Well, he's gone out there and he's done nothing but fucking ball out. He has gone 40-40. He's now at 42 and 42 after hitting another home run last night, a couple more stolen bases, and he does all of this on his bobblehead night in which his dog, this fucking dog, goes out to the pitcher's mound, and Shohei places him there, and then the dog stays there. And then he puts the ball next to the dog, and the dog puts the ball in his mouth, and he runs up to Shohei and delivers the ball at home plate. The dog threw out the first fucking pitch. You just can't make this stuff up. He is an international superhero. I'll go so far to say this guy might be the most fucking famous athlete on earth. He is a Hollywood story, just one thing after another, after another, after another. It makes me laugh. I mean, there's just no way. But that's the beauty of life, I think, sometimes, where he's bought into this role and there's this innocence, I think, about him. Even when the whole Ipe thing was going down, he kind of had this bewildered look. And there's something to be said about the gift of blankness, if that makes sense, right? Where you can have all this shit happening around you, even on the bobblehead night. Like, this guy's preparing to go play a big league baseball game. But, well, hey, yeah, sure, it's my bobblehead. And sure, let's throw my dog into it. And he go, guess what? I've trained my dog to deliver this first pitch. Just really, really, really cool. I don't think we appreciate him as much as we probably should. Now, I know Greg Amster, we talked about this yesterday, called him the greatest living player. Shohei Ohtani is an amazing source of fucking entertainment. He's an amazing baseball player. Could be the best baseball player right now. I get it. And whatever. but he is not the greatest fucking living player. That belongs to Barry Bonds. Again, talked about yesterday. Okay. Oh no. I mean, this is right in the midst of the phone exchange, but that was just the first thing I wanted to get to. The second one here, the power rankings, came out. These are ESPN's power rankings. Came out this morning. You want to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Yeah, let's do that. Number 5 on the list of ESPN's power rankings. You ready for this? The Arizona Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll, again, last night, walks it off with a fucking grand slam. This is the hottest team in baseball right now. They lost the night before, but before that, it was just, I think, 6 wins in a row. You go back a couple months now, there's no better team in baseball, and it's not even close. So look out for the D-backs. It says here they have gone from 10 games out of first place in the division on July 9th to only 3 games back as of Thursday morning. Their next series, 4 games against the Dodgers, team that they've spent these last few months chasing. Their last series, 3 games against the Padres team with which they've been virtually in lockstep in the wild card standings since the All-Star break. Playoff positioning will, of course, be the focus of the reigning NL champions who reached the World Series last year despite not having home field advantage in any series. The D-backs rotation is finally healthy, so much so that Jordan Montgomery has been sent to the bullpen. Yeah, I read an article about Montgomery this morning, too. That's a rough one. That Blake Snell actually sort of calling out Jordan Montgomery like, look, dude, I get it. You didn't get the contract you wanted. I didn't get the contract I wanted. Quit bitching and fucking pitch better. That's pretty good message to me. Sounds about right. Now it's time. Now it's about getting 3 key position players, Gabriel Moreno, Christian Walker, and Ketel Marte, back in the lineup for the stretch runs. I mean, those guys are huge. So the fact that they're doing it without them is incredible. So that's number 5. Number 4 here, the Baltimore Orioles, 77-57. I'm kind of searching for guys to get out in the back third of the game right now. That's how Orioles manager Brandon Hyde recently summarized the bullpen situation. Baltimore's relief corps has become a problem. Craig Kimbrell, who was allowed a base runner in 13 of his last 14 outings, has been demoted from his closer role. His replacement, deadline acquisition, Sir Anthony Dominguez, gave up 2 walk-off home runs to the Mets this last week. The Orioles aren't the only contender with questions in their bullpen, especially at the back end, but the onslaught of injuries to the rotation and Corbin Byrnes' recent struggles exasperates the issues going forward in September as these guys battle it out for the American League East title. The O's went down to the Shohei Ohtani decoy-led, that's Ohtani's dog, Dodgers. Number 3, the Phillies. Some fun Phillies facts to watch. Alec Baum is 11 RBIs from reaching 100. No fucking way. Wow. It would make him the first Phillies third baseman to reach the century mark since Scott Rowland in 2001. Kyle Schwarber is hitting 193 with a 755 OPS versus right-handed pitchers, but 324 with a 955 OPS versus left-handers. That's insane. I mean, I didn't even know what to say other than the fact that I guess he likes the ball moving away from him, but he's so good at pulling his hands in. This one I would have to analyze further. Trey Turner's hitting 305, which would make him the first Phillies shortstop to hit 300 since Larry Boa. I love Larry. Gosh damn, he was fun to work with. In 1975, and before that, you have to go back to Dick Bartell in 1934. With the Phillies' upcoming big 4-game series against Atlanta, in which they can essentially wrap up the division by taking 3 of 4, they moved up the struggling Taijuan Walker to pitch Wednesday against the Astros and pushed. Oh, sorry. Technical difficulties on my new phone. I have all sorts of notifications coming one after another. Pushed Christopher Sanchez back to start Thursday against the Bravos. All right, number 2. The New York Yankees, the Yankees' push for the American League East crown, will be bolstered by an influx of talent in September. As many as 8 players could come off the injured list over the final month, including starters Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt, Cody Petit, first baseman Anthony Rizzo, infielder John Birdie, and relievers Lou Trevino and Ian Hamilton, plus outfield prospect Jason Dominguez and relievers Nick Birdie and Scott Efros are possible September call-ups as well. Sorting through the reinforcements and how to deploy them will be front of mind in the Bronx as the Yankees seek to dethrone the Orioles in the division. That's right, the Orioles actually won the division last year. All right, number 1, your Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers' focus down the stretch is obvious. They need to get their starting rotation order. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been out since the middle of June and still needs to navigate through a rehab assignment. Yeah, he pitched, I think, yesterday. I saw him. He gave up a fucking bomb. Like, I'm talking just freaking nuke city. It was a crush to center field. So I can't be too thrilled about that. But he got through it. He struck out a couple guys, whatever. I know you want to look into rehab starts too much because the guys on the other end, yeah, they're good. They're typically top prospects, crazy talented. And when they see a big leaguer coming out for a rehab start, they're licking their fucking chops. This is where they have an opportunity to, oh, yeah, you think this guy's a great big leaguer? Well, we're going to fucking show him. So that's exactly what happened to Yamamoto. Tyler Glass now is working his way back from tendonitis, and it seems to be more serious than the team initially believed. Walker Buehler and Bobby Miller, meanwhile, have struggled mightily, though Buehler showed some really positive signs on Wednesday. He did. I thought he looked good. He got fucked. So there was a check swing call that the third base umpire missed, and it wasn't even close. Like a full swing. And then right after that, Walker Buehler gives up a double, and you could see the anger and frustration as he walked off the mound and he fucking stared the third base umpire down. Just stared him down. Oh, he was frustrated. He did a good job composing himself, I think. Don't blame him for looking that direction. I really do not. The degree of potential outcomes for the rotation is incredibly wide. Jack Flaherty seems to be the only certainty at this moment to start games in October, though cases can certainly be made for Gavin Stone and Clayton Kershaw. So, I mean, amidst all of this, and this is, I think, what's so wild, is that, like, you're looking at it, and you're like, at some point, you're dealing with all these injuries with the Dodgers. The Yankees obviously have dealt with a lot, but here they are. Why? Because they're the 2 best organizations in baseball. You think I'm fucking around? There's a reason why the Dodgers are the Dodgers and the Yankees are the Yankees. Depth. They don't fuck around. They stockpile one dude after another after another. And guess what? They pay the freight. They're not afraid to pay their players. They're not afraid to have dudes in AAA making hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't bother them. The reinforcements are real. And with all the injuries that both the Yankees and the Dodgers have dealt with, the fact that they're still there, it's incredible. Okay, college football is getting back going. This weekend they had week 0, which was last week. And then this week is going to be a banger. Some really good matchups going on. The first one, Notre Dame at number 20, Texas A&M. So Notre Dame's ranked 7th. The game is sexy in large part because former Duke coach Mike Elko is now in College Station leading the Aggies, and his former Blue Devils quarterback Riley Leonard is the front man for Notre Dame. So this should be an epic matchup in College Station. Just a 3-point spread. Looking forward to that one. Number 23 USC is playing LSU, which ranked number 13. I mean, this is going to be a tough one. It says the we just lost the first 2 picks in the NFL draft pool is really all about defense. As and which one will stink less than it did last year? New LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker, hired away from Missouri, will have a better unit than new USC defensive coordinator D'Anton Lynn, hired away from rival UCLA in week 1 because he has better personnel. That's usually how it fucking goes. Look for LSU linebacker Hale Perkins to produce 2 sacks, including the game clincher of Miller Moss in the 4th quarter in a 9-point Tigers victory. I mean, they're getting really specific here in The Athletic with their predictions. I like it. All right. Number 14, Clemson is taking on number 1, Georgia. It's Georgia minus 13.5. An AP number 1 ranked team hasn't lost a season opener since BYU beat Miami and Provo in 1990. If Clemson has any shot of coming within 2 scores of the Bulldogs, it's because TJ Parker and Peter Woods, the team's budding young defensive line stars, wreak havoc on a veteran Bulldogs offensive line that has only allowed 13 sacks last season. I think something's got to give there, but look for Georgia to roll and cover that 13.5 point spread. Number 19, Miami is at Florida. Miami's 2.5 point favorites. Florida has won 34 consecutive home openers and finds itself as a home underdog in a season opener for only the 2nd time since 1970. I mean, you gotta pick the home team, right? College football is so goddamn emotional. It really is. And I get it. You might have some dudes that don't have the experience, and that's usually when you have a big school like Florida, and you know they're making investment into their players and school, everything else. But you have an unranked Florida team. It just usually you're telling me you're inexperienced. Well, man, getting points at home. You've won 34 straight home openers. Fuck off, man. I'm taking the Gators. 2 years ago, when the Gators held on to beat Utah 24-19 in Billy Napier's debut as a boss in Gainesville, those Utes, however, didn't have the hype and the talent of the skill positions that the 2024 Hurricanes will bring to the swamp. Yeah, I get it. Florida should be improved defensively, but this is a team that gave up 455 plus yards and an average of 41.2 points in the final 5 SEC games a year ago. So I guess look for a high scoring affair. Let's see here. Let's hit up one more story. Actually, let's hit up one more game or 2 more games. Okay, here we go. You got number 8, Penn State at West Virginia, the Nittany Lions. If you've ever, I certainly want to go to a Penn State game. I don't know what it is about the whole whiteout thing, but like places that would be really fucking cool to go to watch a college football game. I've always thought Penn State would be it. Nittany Lion fans weren't happy with me when I predicted that a 10-win Penn State team would get left out of the 12-team playoff. This game won't be wide. The Big 12 is 8-14 against the Big 10 in head-to-head matchups since 2016. And although Neil Brown's team took a nice step forward last year, the Mountaineers won't be able to contain Penn State's offense under new coordinator Andy Kotlinski. So look for Penn State, who's ranked number 8 right now. And the whole playoff thing has completely changed, right? Now you're just trying to get in the top 12. Love that. Penn State is minus 8.5, and that's at West Virginia. Okay. Upset alert. South Dakota State at number 17, Oklahoma State. South Dakota State has won 29 consecutive games and 2 straight FCS national championships. The Jackrabbits have 28 seniors and 8 returning all-conference players, headlined by quarterback Mark Gronowski and safety Tucker Large. Call this an early wake-up call and a big reason why the Big 12 ends up getting only one team in the playoff. Quarterback Alan Bowman gets picked off twice, and the Cowboys get stunned on a late field goal. It's Oklahoma State at home, minus 9.5. This one's really interesting. But let's go over this for a second, because I read this article in the Wall Street Journal. It says, want to pay these college football players, click the QR code on their helmets. This is too good. So Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy, who's been, known for saying and doing crazy shit. Basically, he's like, look, I can't wait for the seasons to start. I'm done with this NIL bullshit. It is completely fucking annoying. Onward and upward. Let's get this season rolling. And they do have a tough task with the Jackrabbits ahead of them. But Oklahoma State, and I love this actually, they put QR codes on the helmets of these players. So if you could actually get in touch with that QR code, and I'm interested to see how that'll work if you're sitting at home watching the game, dude scores a touchdown, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, let's fire him $100. Well, I love the innovation of Oklahoma State in that one. Yeah, it says, behold the era of digital college football tip jar. Credit where credit's due. What an ingenious marketing stunt in the lawless landscape of modern college sports. A couch potato like yours truly, perhaps inspired by a Cowboys touchdown run or pick six interception, will be able to point a phone camera at QR code on the back of an OSU helmet, click a link, and send cash to an NIL fund earmarked for everyone on their roster. Gundy appeared on the Pat McAfee Show, ESPN Pro Saloon, and touted the possible windfall for players like running back Ollie Gordon. Quote, people could be at a bar in London or New York or LA or Tokyo having a watch party and get fired up, Gundy said. And they can go online to our social media and they can bang money to him through the QR code. This is so good. All right. I'm not sure. I mean, you know where it's really going to hit? It's fucking gamblers. I mean, you have a late touchdown or something that like really helps propel these guys. I don't know, big heavy hitter, high roller, bet tens of thousands of dollars on a game. Yeah, what's a few $100 floating to the dude that actually helped you do it? So that should be interesting. Now, on the flip side of all this, the astonishing rule that cost Aussie teen Maya Joint $140,000 at the U.S. Open. If Maya Joint could keep the $140,000 she earned in prize money for reaching the second round of the U.S. Open, she wouldn't buy a brand new car. Quote, I don't have a driver's license, the 18-year-old Australian qualifier said matter-of-factly following her 6-4, 6-0 loss to number 14 Madison Keys on a brutally humid day at Arthur Ashe Stadium. What would Joint like to buy if she could keep the prize money? Maybe a dog, she said before adding a couple dogs. But due to a widely criticized NCAA rule, Joint, a freshman at University of Texas, won't get to take the prize money home when she leaves the Open. NCAA rules only allow her to take $10,000 to cover her expenses. Quote, I'm happy with my decision of going to college, she said when asked if there was any part of her that wished she could keep the money. Andy Roddick, the last American man to win a Grand Slam title at the U.S. Open in 2003. It's crazy it's been that long. Ripped the NCAA rule on social media. Quote, it's absurd to me that a college athlete can take money from a local car dealership, but can't accept earned prize money from the U.S. Open, Roddick posted. Okay, this is fucking asinine. This is one of the stupidest rules I've ever heard in my entire life. The NCAA is so fucking ass backwards right now that you have football players that can have a QR code in the back of their helmet that anybody can send fucking money to. Yet you have a structured professional tennis tour, the U.S. Open, which, hey, in the spirit of calling it the U.S. Open, it's got to be fucking open, and it is, right? So you have these teenagers, there's a 16-year-old that had an incredible match yesterday, an American girl. I watched a large part of it eating lunch yesterday. And so I think she was trying to get to the third round. She had got this second round, was trying to get third round, so she would be in the same sort of scenario. But you have this girl here who's in college, and she can't take the fucking money because that would make her ineligible. Yet we have QR codes. What the fuck is wrong with the NCAA? Like, it's a matter of time in my opinion, either before, they're just fucking done. I mean, what do they do? They're the organizing body, are they? Because I'm looking at a bunch of mega conferences right now. Are they needed? And the rules and structures and everything else, like, they're shooting themselves in the dick. This whole thing is going to come crashing down. It's just a matter of time. The whole thing needs to be fucking blown up and restructured. It's professional sports is really what it is, with an opportunity to get an education. But then we're going to limit this girl from taking home her $140,000 prize. That's a big fucking deal to help her get started in life. Who knows how long she's going to be able to play tennis? So it does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Let the girl keep her fucking money. If you're the NCAA, in my opinion, you got to come up with something like right away. And if I'm that girl, I'd say fuck off. I mean, right? Give me the money. I don't need to play college tennis. I want to go to college. I don't need to play college tennis though, especially if she's sounds like she's doing well in the professional tour anyway. All right, onward, upward. I'm out. Got to pick all game 9:00. Everyone have a fantastic day, and that's about it. Hopefully, my audio is working today. Let's see here. John Davis, what's up, bro? Pete, buenos dias, and a very pleasant good morning to you. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, anywhere else, we'd appreciate if you leave a 5-star review of this Daily Hustle Deuces Wild broadcast, and we'll be back on tomorrow. That's it.